Right, one city, Oxford, two great universities. You've heard from one of them, you're now hearing from the other one. I'm IanMenter, this is AnnChilds. It's a double act, 90 seconds from me, 210 seconds from Anne. It's about an exciting new development led from our department, the Oxford Education Deanery. It's about developing new kinds of relationships between schools and a university, a whole university, led from our Department of Education. It started about 4 years ago, the plans for it, but it's actually based on the 30-year partnership of our internship scheme. Who did the PGC at Oxford? Yes, say yeah! Thank you. And now, we've built on the back of that, and Tim Brickhouse was involved at the start of that programme, and we're building on the strength of those relationships with the schools for the internship scheme, the PGC, building in other layers in CPD and research. Currently working with OCL, Oxford City Learning, the schools in the city, developing these new forms of working together. Got some demonstration projects that we've had. Anne's going to talk about one of them in a moment. We've also had Action Research Fellowships. Some of you may have done them with Anne Edwards, who was leading the development of this for a few years. And we launched in November last year with the schools that we work in OCL, and then we're planning to expand it now. I have got 4 seconds left for the last slide. Those are the principles of the deanery.
Here's an example, the Charwell Internship Project, and thank you to Charwell School for this. We had 6 of our student teachers there, 2 biology, 2 physics and 2 chemistry, and thank you Charwell for being so brave to take 6 people in one school. They were there for September to December and then January to April full time. And they did an inquiry, as part of their PGC, they did an inquiry project based on the departmental provided, decided actually by the science department. What was the inquiry project? You won't be surprised. They were looking at the attainment of middle groups in years 10 and 11, and that's what the department wanted our student teachers to work on. The issues the teachers raised were these, that they've noticed students understand, but then they don't. They found that students are not building up knowledge base, and that study skills are an issue. So those were the concerns the teachers wanted our student teachers to investigate. We did it in partnership. I actually trained all the student teachers in the school in research methods. They then did structured observations and they interviewed Year 10 students. That was really powerful because the students in classes were being observed, and then they said so much to our student teachers. The student teachers benefited. They wrote the findings up for their assignment, and then I took the findings from all 6 of them, and they'd interviewed masses of kids and observed masses of kids. This is what one of the students in the class said: I have no idea what we're coming next in the lesson. It would be helpful to get a scheme of lessons given to you at the beginning. Most of the time I don't even know what the topic is called. I just do the work I'm given and don't really know why I'm doing it. So they were very, very honest. The report I wrote had about 13 recommendations, and this was just one of them. Give us a map, tell us where we're going. And Charwell then developed these learning maps, which were absolutely brilliant, and I heard you just talked about one, where the kids had them in front of them for the whole topic, and they could see where they were going. And that really helped them, and so they could see that the research that the student teachers had done actually had an impact, and it was also a good revision tool. So I then developed one for our course. I did this by myself. I'm not going to teach you any chemistry, so you can sit there and be reassured on that. But this is a very complicated and very difficult part of chemistry. There's loads of chemistry, there's loads of reactions, and making sense of it. So producing a map at the beginning and allowing kids to see where they're going throughout is really good. But what I should have done, I did that by myself, and what we're going to get our student teachers to do in the next term is actually develop these maps, but with a chemist working with a physicist, working with a biologist, so that they're teachers teaching other teachers, as Tim said at the beginning. And when you produce these, it really makes you think about what the subject is and the logic of it. So thank you to Charwell School, thank you to Charwell School students, and let's hope that our student teachers will learn something next term from this. Thank you.